how to create a colourful streak effect in Photoshop. Something like that. I'm using 2020, but you can do much the same in 2019 and earlier versions. And I'm going to use a document 3000 by 3000. That's going to be the end result document. 300 dpi and black background. Like that, 3000 by 3000. And I'm going to use a pattern source. The pattern source will be 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels and 300 dpi and a transparent background. Now you could vary this, of course. I'm just going to go with, that's what I go with, 1000 by 1000. You could go with 2000 by 2000, up to you. But then you'd have to tweak the various settings for the pattern. Key thing here, transparent background. Click OK. So you've got that. What you can now do, you can use the custom shape tool, rectangle tool, to create a line. I'm just going to use a brush. I'm going to use a very thin brush, 9 pixels. It's a standard default brush, and grayscale, a grey, very light grey. And just drag it across the entire document. Hold down the Shift key so you can go from top to bottom in a straight line. Once you've done that, edit and define pattern. Now give it a name. You can see the little pattern there in the thumbnail. Click OK. That's stored in the patterns panel over there. That can be found via the window menu. And I'm just going to create another pattern as well. But this time just a very thin line just at the top. And again, go to the edit and define pattern. And they're both using the same grey brush. Now I'm just going to create a slightly more freestyle brushstroke from top to bottom. So you get a subtle wave to it. Just go down like that. And you can, of course, make it a blocky design, maybe a wave design, a zigzag design, up to you. I'm just going to go with that, and maybe change the brush stroke. You don't have to use the same brush I'm using. Click OK with the edit and define pattern. So you've got now those two patterns. Now that's the end result document I'm going to use. So edit, and you could use a layer before you do this. You could create a new layer if you wish. But I'm just going to create it on the same background layer. So edit and fill. And set the contents to pattern, custom pattern to the first one you created, which was the line all the way through, straight line, holding down the Shift key. And script is set to spiral, and script is on. Also going with blending mode, normal, and opacity 100%. Now you could change those as well if you wish. That's the key thing there, spiral. Click OK. And all of them are going to use spiral. And you can see that the preview does not match the end result. Now I'm going to go with -511, but you can vary it, you can change it, you can go through experiment. Don't have to use the setting I've got. But I've noticed that -511 seems to work with that size of document. And I'm going with a ring spacing set to the left, far left, so it's -1000. Pattern scale I've set to 1. And the colour randomness I'm going with fairly max. And you can vary. You can vary the brightness, randomness as well. You can make it there. Also you can put the colour randomness all the way down so you end up with a grayscale design, a texture design. So once you're happy with all the settings like that, colour randomness, click OK. And that will generate that design. As I said, the preview rarely, with lots of these pattern tools, very rarely matches the end result. So it's a bit of experimentation until you get the right settings for you. So you could run through different, -400 might end up with a slightly different result. -512 will end up with a very different result. So that's that streak design there. That was similar to the one I showed at the start. Now I'm going to go to the one that was just a very, very thin line at the top. That's the custom pattern. Script is on, script is spiral, and click OK. Now this time it will create a nice little splattering of colour, but it will be, again, that does not match the end result. So you can vary those settings, experiment, and I'm going to go with -511 again, and going to go with ring spacing set to the left. Click OK. And this time you can see the result ends up slightly different. It's a smaller circular design, but it's a more sort of colourful splattering of noise effect, colourful noise effect. And again, you can vary the settings to create maybe a different design. Edit and fill. This time I'm going to go with the more freestyle line. Again, use spiral and script, set those on, and click OK. Very hard to see the actual freestyle stroke there, but it is there. Click OK. And now you've got the end result. So you can see that lovely wave design all the way through, just being applied all the way. Nice streak design from that central point. And of course you can apply filters to it. You can go to Filter and Oil Paint via the Stylised menu. You can also apply adjustments. So Image and Adjustments, maybe Colour Lookup. Just run through the colour lookups. Just change the colour. Maybe may go with a black and white. And of course, a variety of different lines can be created. Obviously, I've just created one very basic line, but you can create all kinds of different line designs using this approach to end up with that sort of lovely streaking design there. I'm just boosting up the vibrance there. And then click OK. Well, I hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphic Extras channel. Always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator and other applications. Also, please add some comments. Always appreciated. A dislike or like. Thank you much.